Okay, let's add a background image to this. This is a familiar slide that we've already used. So the first thing we need to do is get a background image. So I'm going to go to Admin, Upload Image, and choose File. And I've already got one picked out. We're going to go with storm.jpg, submit, and here's the link. I'm going to copy that. Oops. Copy. And okay, now, okay, so we've got it copied. So in backgrounds is what we want, and we just want, all you need to do, okay, make sure it's a solid color and not a gradient, and paste it in there. So there's storm.jpg and no repeat, and if we hit update preview, there's our sample slide. And of course, by the way, it updates your view here so that you can see what's going on. And we probably want to do cover screen. So no matter how big your screen is or how small, it's gonna adjust the image so that it fits in the screen and there's no white space on the outside of it. Okay, so let's go ahead and close that. And okay, that's all there is to adding a background image. Now, just for the fun of it, let's go ahead and open our left banter. Let's see, left image. And we can put a background image behind. Let's put a background image behind this lady here. So background image, or background color, I mean. Let's see, blur, bright, background color. Let's give her a gold background and make it stay all the way through. We could have that fade in. We could have anything you want, but let's just go with. I just want to show you how to do it. Gold background. Okay, update, preview. So now she's got a gold background, and we probably want to round that off. So we'll hit round 50, update, preview. So that sets her out. So if you had a really complicated image or background and you want to make her stand out, you can just put a background in like that. And you can do a lot more with background images or this background function. Oops. We're going to come back to that later, though. I just wanted to point that out real quickly, that images can have a background. If it has a transparent background already, you can have a background. And we're going to close that. And the background color, we're going to close that, update, preview. Okay, so we got rid of it. Okay, so we're back to our background images. So that's how you put a background image, short and simple and sweet. Now let's go and look at a little bit more complicated background, a couple different examples. And rather than sit here and have you sit and watch while I put all these numbers in, etc., what we're going to do is we're going to start out with, let's start with this one. Okay, so this is from one of the slides that are in our opening web page. You probably have already seen it. By default, okay, so let's go ahead and make it a little smaller. Okay, so we have the animation. This animation here, it's a GIF. So it's an animated image. It's a GIF, and that's it. And we have a background. Okay, we have a background already set for this particular slide, and that is the football field, which is actually a soccer field. That's the background. That's that's the default background for the image that we've set. And we've set a default color of like a beige color. And okay, so it's going to open up. It's going to have that background and with the beige offset color. And then after 6 seconds, okay, this is going to start fading right away because we didn't want it to fade right away. We could go 6 seconds. Say to stay the same at 6, we could put 6 seconds and make the same picture in. But we want it to start fading right away. And we want to change, after 6 seconds, we want to change that to hot pink, the background color. And the reason is, with this particular animation mode, that this color, as this fades, it loads this picture and fades this in and fades this background color in, and you can see it's pretty simple. There's just a picture. We tell it no repeat, which is the default, and we tell this is the notes, musical notes, is another image that we do want to repeat, and let me show you why. Okay, the other one, okay, notes.gif. Okay, so this is an animated GIF also, and it's, as you can see, it's just musical notes that load and unload, and it's going from a white background to a clear background in that animation. So you can combine that little animation and have it repeat. So then it's going to repeat itself, clear across the screen and clear down the screen. And while this one's fading in and out and expanding, the overall effect is, so you take it just takes 2 images to do this. Change the background color, and one's repeats and one doesn't repeat, and one takes the full screen and one just doesn't. Okay, just watch. And basically, with these backgrounds, stuff like this, you just play around with it till you get something that looks good. And notice I have the image here now. That this is the foreground image, the band, and I have them come and turn around. And the way we do that is here. So at 5 seconds, it's 0. It's not rotated. At 10 seconds, at 5 seconds, it rotates from over the course of the timeline. 17% of the timeline, it turns around from 0 to 180%, 180 degrees. So it turns around, and that's at that time, 5.5%. It's 80% across the screen, so it's at the right side of the screen, turns around, and at 12 seconds, it's turned around and it's stopped, and it's actually at where are we at? 10 seconds. It's from 5 seconds to 10 seconds. It comes from 60% across the screen. That's from the top. From the left, it's coming 80% across from the left, and it's going from 30% from the top to 60% of the top. So it's moving down and to the left. So first it moved down and to the right. Now it's moving down and to the left. And once you play around with this, you'll find how simple that is to do. Okay, so then at this same point, when it hits the end, the 80% distance across the screen and 30% from the top, it's going to switch. It's going to turn 180 degrees, which means it's going to turn around, and then it's going to stay there for a couple seconds, and then it's going to come back. At top will be 60% from the top, and you figure the image is another 20% of the screen, so that puts it near the bottom. And at 13 seconds, it turns from 180 degrees to 0 degrees, and let me show you how that worked. So that very last, see how it swings around, and I got it swinging too quick now. Now it's going to turn back around. Okay, so that's the foreground. Okay, and let's move on to the back. Oh, by the way, you saw what the background's doing there. Okay, so what's happening is, it's showing the JPEG, the football field, and it's also at 6 seconds. From 0 to 6 seconds, it's fading that in, and go preview. See, that's getting smaller. That's fading in. Now it gets to the bottom, and now it's expanding, and it turns around, and all that stuff's going on, and the eye has it's sort of a fun to follow with the eye, and with your eyes. Okay, so that, once again, I highly recommend play around with this, and just see what it does. You can insert images, you can repeat images, and when you get over to here, you can do even more. And we're going to look at that right now. Okay, so let's look at this is also one of the demo presentations. In this one, okay, so we have this girl standing, lady, whatever, standing, freaked out, and there's her image, redhead 3.ping, and nothing on the right, and the background image is this sort of clouds and birds and brownish color, almost like smoke and birds, and that is okay. So we see the right image. Okay, so that's this image here, clouds1.jpg. So it starts out with clouds1.jpg, and then for 2 seconds it's going to stay with that. It's not going to change anything, except it's changing from the slide size that was loaded to cover screen. So if the initial size is bigger or smaller than the screen, it's going to, over the course of 2 seconds, adjust that size to the actual screen size. And that's where you see the motion. It sort of gives like a motion. And so it's no repeat, cover screen, and these background colors. Okay, so we have fire brick, blue, and dark. I think it's dark cayenne. Let's see. I think it's dark cayenne. Okay, so we've got these three colors, and so what's going to happen is at 2 seconds, it's going to change to the blue background, and at 6 seconds to the dark cayenne background, and that, because we have these blend, we have our background, we have it set to background blend. Okay, I can't undo that now. Background blend, and then background blend has all these properties. Okay, so you can play around with that. Once again, this is something you just need to play around with, and you'll see. And as you're creating a slide, it's almost like creativity's on automatic, because you do things and you get unexpected results, and you say to yourself, "That looks pretty cool. I'll keep it." And here it is. Here's what we've got. So from the background color, clouds, same clouds. Then we put in lightning. Now this is going to cause the color of the background color shade to change, and the lightning to change at a different rate. And watch. See, the lightning has changed. The background, blend. The background color blends with the blue basically, and causes a pretty cool effect. And that goes on to the next slide, which we don't want to do. Okay, so once again, background colors, just play around. Just go there and just start fooling around with these. I could spend all day showing you different examples, and basically the possibilities are unlimited. And you can't hurt anything by playing with it. You just make changes. And one thing to remember, though, you can't put a linear gradient. You can't put a gradient behind it. You can put a solid color, which is this, to start off, but you can't do a gradient because a gradient actually is an image, and what we're doing here is blending colors with these images that we're adding. And so play around with it, have fun, and if you have any questions, let us know. And that's the background animation feature. And we will see you next lesson.